Do we have music playing?
No, we don't have music playing. I don't think we can play music.
Can they
without,
hear you?
Yeah, we're
Whistling?
live.
Oh, we're
Oh yeah,
live?
we're live. Yeah, it goes live immediately when you do it this way. I don't think we can play music without the stream slowing down.
Without blowing up my computer?
Yeah. I don't think it would work.
My laptop,
We could test it.
which is from
We could test it.
2019.
Yeah, but it's like the lowest model of 2019.
Whatever. So they did get
Good.
some music. They heard your whistling.
Yeah, so that's just started off.
And David's in a
entertaining
good
and
mood. Yeah, exactly. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it is partially true.
Mm-hmm.
It's when David's in a good mood, he whistles.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what that was, but that's all right.
Are you not in a good mood?
I'm in an okay mood. Just you've been so rude to me.
Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, because we were trying to think of ideas for like
For
video
this.
topics for this, because our original idea was, okay, well, let's go live and we'll do like a Q&A kind of thing, but we'll come up with all the questions because we don't have people to ask questions. So we'll ask the questions and give the answers. And then we were sitting and thinking of topics, and then I was thinking, so I'm getting tense. And then she
Always.
hates it.
Well,
And that's the end of the story.
it's not. No.
I'm the victim, and that's the end of the story.
Sure.
Mhm.
We can go with that.
No, you can say your part.
Oh, I can?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have anything to add.
That's
It's
right.
true. It's hard to think of questions.
Okay, I mean, well,
And the
yeah.
stuff we talk about is so deep
Yes.
that it's
Yes.
like nobody cares about your piddly question. Like if we do like a topical
know, I
question,
know.
it's so lame.
I know. I feel the same way. I feel like it's like boring.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some good topics like, why does AI feel dark? That's like that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why does AI feel dark? Why does it feel dark? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's so it should feel sterile, but it feels dark.
Yeah.
So that's
'Cause
interesting.
We've been done this before.
Or like, was Rudolf Steiner ahead of his time?
No. Scoundrel.
I think that's interesting. That's an interesting topic. There's things in there,
Steiner.
but for
trash.
some reason, it just feels I don't know, it feels boring. It feels so flat. It feels so
Yeah.
flat to come up with topics, and I don't
Yeah.
know why. And I think that's why our we wanted to do a topical podcast, and then it stalled out almost immediately. And I think it's the same exact reason, because it feels
Because
boring.
we're shit at it. Well, because
Yeah.
what I do,
Well, because we're shit shooters.
we're shit shooters.
Yeah,
We
we
shoot
shoot
the
the shit.
Yeah,
We don't come up with topics.
that's true. The topics emerge.
Yeah, we allow the topics to emerge from the depths of our consciousness
Yeah,
as we
from the
interface with
quantum
the full
field.
network of God.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
I don't know. Maybe we need to do like a ceremony.
Yeah, we need to do ayahuasca.
Yeah, maybe that
We'd
would
get
help
so
us.
many topics.
We'd have so many breakthroughs.
Oh, fuck. That's
See, we could
awesome.
talk about that too. There's so many, but it's like
I
it's not
know.
that fun, and it's like what everyone else is talking about, and everyone else's
Mm-hmm.
perspectives are shit. I know my perspective is better, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, okay, so that's also the hard thing is like I wanted to frame the videos as questions. So I wanted to be like, should you be more positive? But then people are going to think that we think that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you just got to be more positive.
Yes.
Yeah,
And they're
David
like,
and
oh, I
Miriam
already
are-
know what this video is.
They're really into mindset work.
Yeah, and it's like, fuck. But then you would get into the video and be
And
like,
you'd be offended. I know.
Like, nope, you
You'd
shouldn't be more positive. You should be more negative.
Uh-huh.
Your problem is you're not negative enough. You don't curse enough. You're not
Can
negative
you
enough.
imagine?
You haven't been judging enough.
It'd be the ultimate brain scramble.
Yeah, it would
Which
be.
is good.
It would be. Which, yeah, is probably good. It's probably good. But man,
All the
it's-
perspectives are the same on everything out there, though.
I know.
It's so boring. So I guess we can throw our perspective into the mix.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like they're all the same, but like equally wrong.
Mm-hmm. I know. Trash. Steiner. Trash. Ayahuasca. Trash.
Yeah, another one was like, is life coaching helpful? Was another topic. I think that's also interesting. There's so much in there.
Yeah, but the short is no.
Yeah.
The short answer is no. It's not. It's fucking not. Because what you're going to learn from those motherfuckers, I'll give you the tea right now, is that you should have been trusting yourself all along. That's it.
Yeah,
End of
it's
story.
sad.
You always end up learning this really hard lesson that your intuitive knowing was right the whole time, and
Yep.
you didn't trust it. Instead, you hired this schmuck to be your pretend CEO of a company that does $0 in sales, but you pretend like you make more money than you do because you post on social media
Yeah.
to keep up this image that you eat gluten-free, organic, hoobity bots, whatever those are.
Yeah, but you also learn how to have maxed out credit cards,
Yes, that's true.
which is an important skill.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a very important skill.
Mhm.
High interest credit cards.
Yes. See, and that's where the real lesson is,
Uh-huh.
actually.
Yeah, it's a lasting lesson.
Yeah.
It sticks with you.
Yeah.
It sticks with you for a long
It's
time.
Yeah, it's the downfall
Mhm.
of your life.
Mhm.
So is life coaching helpful? Was that the question?
That was the question. Yeah.
And the answer is no.
And the answer is no. Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone have any other questions?
I mean, there's so much nuance, right? Like
No.
we can go into all of these topics, but there's something that wasn't exciting about it, and I don't completely know why.
I think
Okay.
because we love to spend our time in the depths with people.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone here?
I don't know. That's why I was going to live chat instead of top chat. When I go into top chat, for some reason, it only shows me Andrew Tate's chats. Yeah,
'cause
it's top G.
What? Are you joking? You're joking.
I'm joking. But it doesn't show
only shows
anyone's.
Andrew
It
Tate in
doesn't
our
show
chat.
anyone's chats when I'm in top chat, and I have no idea why. We can never see it. Yeah, it's the live chat, and then there's the top G chat.
Oh, Ben's here.
What's up, Ben?
Cool. That's awesome. Thanks, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions? It's
Fuck.
just like, yeah, I don't know. It's too lame. I'm happy to talk about it to a certain point. Like today on my Instagram, you know, the fires in Texas and the tornadoes in the Midwest, and you know, there's just a lot happening last night. I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all. He's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching him report on the tornadoes. And what did Ben ask? How do I achieve this
How do I
top
achieve
G
top G status?
How does he get to that? Do the chats get upvoted? We would need more than you here. And we would need that person to like what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how it works. Oh, you're in top chat. You're in it.
You're in it.
You got it.
You already made it.
Yeah, you got it.
But I think you can like upvote or thumbs up.
Yeah,
Right?
there's
Or
something like
something.
that.
I don't
There's
know.
something like that.
Okay, so let me tell you the fires
Okay.
and the tornado and all that. So I ended up writing a thing on Instagram because I always use like the current frenzy as a way to talk about how good you are,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, people probably don't know what to do with. And the font's so fucking small that you can't read it. So it only goes to like certain people who are willing, first of all, that have an attention span of longer than 15 seconds, have good eyesight,
Yeah.
and or are willing to screenshot and zoom in and zoom out and zoom in and zoom out and read it.
Mm.
But I said that like you're good. Like if you haven't, like imagine those people's homes that went up in flames. Imagine if they were all fucking crazy ass preppers and it's just gone. Like however much of inventory of stored goods is just gone. So can you trust if you're not getting guided to buy a shit ton of rice and beans, can you trust that that's okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then you go into panic mode and you're like, well, then what does it mean? Like, I'm going to have to leave my house? Like, oh my God. Like, it's like, fuck. It's like, can we not have any like adult conversations here? Like, why is everyone so biologically manipulated and immature?
Mm-hmm.
Like across the dome. Like, I don't see anybody that's actually truly settled into their peace, connected to their knowing, and knows what the fuck is going on here, or at least can entertain dystopian timelines without like a frenzy of panic inside. I think these are important conversations just to have.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I always try to go somewhere of like, if you're not getting guided to buy red light therapy fucking lights, like stand in front of the fucking flames, then there's some fucking red light. Like what the fuck? Like you can trust what you're getting.
Stand in front of the flames. You want red light hair therapy? Light your house on fire.
Exactly.
That's funny.
It's just so frustrating to me. I feel like people lose themselves in like every single narrative.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all
Yeah.
call yourself truthers. Like, what does that even mean? Because you ain't searching for truth. You're just like digging yourself into all these holes. Like, to me, like searching for truth means something so much deeper and so much different than what any of those movements have become.
Mm-hmm.
It should be called Only Chat. Ben
What do
is,
you mean?
because he's the only chat.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only chats.
Um.
Oh,
No, nothing.
did
That's
I
fine.
ruin your cord?
No, it's fine.
Oh, there's
It's fine.
plenty of room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to feel where people are at.
Fucking lost.
I know.
Retarded. Calcified. Scared.
Yeah, it's sad.
Miserable. Pretending like things are okay. Lots of pretending. Lots of positivity. Lots of fake. Lots of bullshit.
Yeah. Well, because if I zero in on like the people that we're actually talking to, I feel like there's an element of like just existential crisis,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no solution.
Zero.
And I think that's a hard place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, one, how we would even find them or speak to them, but two, even exactly what we would say to these people. And I think that's why all these other topics feel boring and flat when we think about doing a Q&A, is because I think the like reality of where people at is not like, they're not curious about Rudolf Steiner. I don't think they really even know who Rudolf Steiner is.
No, but they do need to be aware that that quote out there about him, giving him all this whatever.
Yeah, that's like a fun factoid. Like, hey, you know that guy that everyone quotes about the vaccines? Like, yeah, he's kind of like a weird sicko and just like dark and weird, and his ideology sucks dick. It's the fucking worst.
That's important to know.
That's important. I agree. I do
because
agree.
then you look at all these people and you're like, wait, so and so quotes Rudolph, so and so quote, and you're like, wait a second, my friend has kids that go to school at his.
I know there's important elements of like seeing through.
You
like,
have to see clearly
reality.
here.
I agree. But I feel like there's something about being able to speak to that existential crisis, being able to speak to like the emotional element of things, that I think it's harder to capture in like those topics.
So maybe we just only talk about existential crises.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we could name our segments.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to Existential Crisis. We're your guides, David and Miriam. Please buckle up. Please put your mask on before you try to fuck with other people's lives.
Oxygen mask.
Mm-hmm. Before you start coaching.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I know.
I know there's something in there. There's something in there. And
It
that
does
feeling.
feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Groovy Tulips is in the chat.
Groovy. And floral.
Groovy.
A nice floral scent is wafted into the chat. And
That's
a very
awesome.
70s vibe.
It'd be cool if we had like a set and we could change the lights and drop a disco
Yeah,
ball.
that's true. Drop a disco ball. Yeah, just,
We're not there yet. We're just on this
I don't know if anyone's there.
teeny tiny couch.
Just to like manifest items. That's like the astral show.
Astral show.
Yeah, like it's like if we were like not in bodies,
Oh.
you know, and we just had like these fucking pretend mics, and we were like, poof, you know, like just pop up a disco ball. Like you could do something like that.
And another time.
No, but instead we're in hell. Welcome to hell. It's a pleasure as always to be here.
I do question that.
What if we were in hell?
Yeah. If this is in fact hell.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's all relative.
One look up at the sky. It's like, ooh. Yeah. I don't know how to talk about real stuff
Mm-hmm.
without like real people engaging and asking questions and then like seeing their whole field come up and like
I know. Because that's easy. That's easy. We could be like dial in psychics all fucking day. Like we could be like a radio show host.
yeah.
That would
Yes.
be easy.
I know. Well, why don't we set that up? Can we do that without exploding my
easy.
computer?
No.
You don't
we
think
can't.
so?
On this computer? No. We could get like a Mac Mini. Like an M2 Mac Mini.
Yeah, I know.
What?
I know. But I'm just saying, can we work with what we got?
And have a radio show? Or what do you mean? Like have people call in?
Yeah, but do you think anyone would call? Or it's just going to be Ben
No,
and
it'd
Sarah?
be Ben, yeah. It'd be like, hey guys, it's me again.
They wanted me to read this question like it's mine. You just,
Yeah.
you've been practicing all your voices, Ben. You can just
Oh, see, that's what we need.
do different voices for
Yep.
us. Help us out.
Yeah, we need you to be Vietnamese. And then maybe you can just call in
Oh
and
my
just start
God.
speaking Chinese.
Yes, Ben said, let's start now. And Sarah said, I'm there. Ben said, test run.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Deal.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll bring you on video chat. We'll we'll Skype you
Oh,
in
so why do you look confused?
because our stream ended.
What do you mean?
Our stream disconnected and then reconnected. That's why
Oh,
I was
no.
looking confused.
I thought you were doing the wrong sound effect.
No. You're back.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
It just clicked for something weird happened for a second.
Maybe we got too close to the truth.
Yeah, that we need to call people in with Skype specifically. I think that's why it's flat. It's because we're using Zoom and not Skype.
Okay, so let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's our problem. That's what's wrong with us. I don't know. Just something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's so, it's also so heavy and it's hard to be with. Like, I think for the people who would need to talk about existential crisis the most,
They'd want to do it live on stream.
they wouldn't do it live on stream. But I also don't know that they would, by choice, watch a video about it, about what they are feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, definitely not. You got to watch like The Circle on Netflix.
Yeah, like I feel
When
like
you're
it
in
would
those
be, it would be
modes.
something else entirely that they're doing to distract themselves.
Yep.
And then there's like a moment of like, there's a moment of someone being real. And then it like hits and you just burst into tears. Or something. It's like one of those things
Yep.
where it like has to get in there kind of sideways. So I don't know. I don't know that that's it either, honestly, if to be existential crisis specialists.
Existential crisis counselors.
Existential crisis hotline. Hi, excuse me. I'm just, I'm in my mid-40s. And, I'm just really worried about where my life's going.
We're like, oh yeah,
Ah, yes. Welcome.
aren't we all?
Welcome to hell.
I know. It's so challenging.
Break it down, DJ Satan. Oh, God.
David's such a ham. Such a ham for the camera.
I guess so. Oh, I guess.
Definitely.
Hmm.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
checking in. That's what we're doing when we're zoning off. Just kind of reading energy and feeling. Lately, it's over there.
It's over there,
Yeah.
over on this side of
We're
the
both, looking that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I know. Because it's just the like broad messaging just feels so boring.
Yeah. Should we go like real specific? Like we just read like one person's field, like try to isolate it in. Like, are you eating Reese's peanut butter cups and crying in bed about your boyfriend Tim? And it's like, it's like one video. It's like 45 minutes long. I'm like, all right,
Okay,
Sheila.
okay.
All right,
I was gonna say Lily.
It was funny.
Sheila.
Oh, God. That's funny. That's so funny. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Who are these people? Yeah, maybe not.
Uh-huh.
But it's like, is that it? Like, is it that stupid here that like we have to play the game to talk about these stupid fucking topics that would entice people to even listen?
I know.
And then they would listen, but then they'd get pissed off because they'd be like, no, it is about positivity. Like, what? They obviously don't know. Like, I just found, like, God, whatever, fucking Grandma Aya, the grandmother, like, told me that in ceremony last night. Like, it's about being positive in your mindset.
Pachamama whispered at me through the trees. Sister, I think you have a misunderstanding, sister, brother. I will go back. Oh yeah, it's hard to do. Whew.
No, stay in the character. What do you got? You got more.
There wasn't. It's so hard to stay in that. Oh,
you can do it.
I will go back through and listen to the recording later and try to open my heart slightly more, but I think you were wrong, brother. With all due respect and so much love, namaste, aho.
So that, like, we're offensive.
We are offensive because we don't give a fuck about spirituality.
I know,
we don't give a fuck about being spiritual.
No, zero. It is so liberating, I must say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think everything is like such trash.
I agree.
That's all I keep wanting to say.
You know, it's like similar to music almost.
Here.
Funny enough.
It's similar to music?
Yeah, like there's music that talks about real shit, but it's terrible.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it.
You can't. Why?
I could.
Give us an
It's
example.
on the tip of my throat.
Give us an example. I don't understand what you mean.
No, you do.
No,
you do.
I don't.
No,
No,
just
you
like
guys.
even just like the
They don't understand
the
either.
stereotypical like Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. You know, even just that.
That's real music?
That's a real song. Yeah.
Well,
fuck
right.
Yeah. I mean, in Encinitas, they would sing that like fucking 6 hours a day.
Right, but you're saying that real shit, like talking about real shit.
I mean, okay, yeah.
So
talking about real shit, but like there's like conscious music. But there's like, I don't know, even like diving deeper into like emotions and like what's real, and like Billie Eilish took it there a little bit more, you know what I mean? Like when that came out, it was like, oh, she's talking about like actual hard things. That's so cool.
Yeah, deep and dark stuff.
And I think that's why it worked in the first place, because she was like severely depressed and just talked about it. But like,
On some other.
Sure, yeah, and other stuff behind the scenes. But I still think that's, regardless, I think that's why it resonated with people. Right.
Yeah, it was telling to see that was what was hitting like kids, what they were liking, what they were interested in, because I was like, oh shit, this is where kids are at. And now I'm sure all those kids are trannies, because I mean, they were depressed as fuck. Like there's something what else do you do to get out of your depression? You have to transition. Like that's the antidote to teenage depression.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I mean, I don't think I'm that off base.
Yeah, and now all those sad little girls are like, "Hi, I'm Billy. My name is Billy, and I'm still sad."
Exactly. But that was really telling about where that like sect of the population was at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, her shit was definitely like, whoa, it hit something.
It
for
did.
sure.
And it's like it was realer
struck a
and
chord.
deeper, but it didn't go anywhere. Like it doesn't like resolve into like, and then I learned to feel my feelings, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a lame song.
I know, but okay, but that's what I'm saying.
And
That's what
then
I'm
I
saying.
learned to feel my feelings, and I'm okay.
I'm the super strong masculine guy. I'm the divine masculine presence.
Dude, so good. Yeah.
That like sorry. As soon as things get good, they get boring, and I don't know what it like. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that? Like, good deep concepts are very hard to make into art, and are very hard to make into content because content and entertainment aren't deep.
Right.
Like it's near impossible.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, have we been so like retardified that like we can't even go there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
that
get what
like
you're
the
saying.
our interests are what the culture's interests are. Like,
Yeah.
astrology, ayahuasca, like
Mhm.
it's like so. It's like wait, none of this.
Mhm.
It's like this is not it, y'all.
Yeah.
Like that's why it's like, oh, so then that's why I'm asking, like, do we have to play the game of doing the broader topics that draw the people in, and then the ones that stick around stick around?
Yeah. I know.
That's weird.
I
That
agree.
feels unfortunate.
I agree.
But then is that a truer look at how this place is actually built and structured, and where people are?
Yeah.
Like that they don't have the capacity to be with deep stuff. They'd rather just listen to surface level shit.
Mhm.
Topical things that to learn more.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where we are. Stuck.
Mhm.
But
Hi, we're stuck. Welcome to hell.
you love that one.
I do. You caught me. Oops. I just love it so much.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because there's an element of like I would know how to play the game to make spiritual content,
I know.
You know. and you would too, but it falls so flat.
I know.
Like I could do it, and I would have to do it by myself.
Yes. Agreed.
I would have to do it by myself.
I know that you could do it, but I could not do it with you.
Yeah. Yes.
And you would be good
I
at
know.
it.
I would be good at it.
So maybe it's me
I
that's
would be good
holding you
at it.
back.
Yeah, and when you say, and again, every time you say that,
No,
I
I'm just
I know, but you said don't act like you didn't
No.
say that seriously 25 minutes
No.
ago.
No, I didn't. I didn't say it seriously 25 minutes ago, and I didn't
What?
say it seriously now.
Gaslighting me?
Yes. No.
Yes.
No. Sometimes it's just like,
Sometimes I just have to say the thing.
no, that's not it.
What is it? What is it?
Sometimes there are things that are here for you to do and not me. And vice versa. You're not going to share Instagram stories the way I share Instagram stories. And
Sure.
that's, yeah.
And yeah, there are probably
So quit it.
videos I make.
Quit it.
What do you mean quit it?
Quit it.
This is like gaslighting, like the final stage of gaslighting. Quit it. You started it.
You started this fight. No.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's it. I don't think it's that I go and make a bunch of boring content by myself because you're too fucking bored to do it. And like, oh, but you could do it. So you could go out of alignment, David. You could do it and make shitty ass, boring ass content.
Yeah, but maybe
You're
it's
great at
maybe
boring
it's
content,
not
David.
boring.
You're so great.
Maybe
at boring
it's not
content.
boring to the people that maybe someday will find our work. But then when you zoom out again,
Yes.
it's like it's not even about that. Like if people, they're going to find our work however they find it. It has nothing to do with that's all up to God.
They're gonna find a way. Yeah, I know. I mean, well, we have had quite the influx of people the past few months. I know. Well, it's just interesting because I feel like we've been in a chapter of like mentorship. We have all these groups and we do it. And we like pull people through and we're doing this journey, and that's starting to come to a close. And now we're in like really no chapter.
Limbo.
Yeah,
Chapter
there's no next chapter, and I'm assuming the next chapter is like content, but I don't know that I'm right. I've always assumed that. I've always assumed there was going to be like
I always thought that too.
like we're gonna stop doing the like 1-to-1 kind of stuff, and we're gonna go 1-to-many, and we're gonna scale this thing with content. But it seems so fucking boring, and I don't know how to do it in a way that's not boring. I don't know how to do it in a way that's not me making conscious music. Do you know what I mean? Because I could slip in one of those songs and you wouldn't even notice. That's what's crazy about me doing that kind of content is
That's true.
Right? I could put in one of those
like
songs.
your own?
My own, yeah, my
Your
own
own
original song.
Amdi Shakti?
Yes, my own original song about like I overcame my troubles, you know, and I'm playing the guitar badly, strong, and I rested in my soul, and there's a violin.
All you need is a microphone. You were just off.
Yeah. Well, and then people be like, "Oh my God, David, that's so great." The people that would watch the videos.
Yes, they would love it.
Yes, the same people that would watch the videos of me going, "Is Rudolph Steiner ahead of his time?" Welcome to the second paradigm. My name's David, and I'm the gay half of the second paradigm. The same people that would watch me do that would love some boring ass conscious music that sucks. They would love it because it's what you expect. And I don't know how to do content without doing that.
I know.
Without becoming gay.
See?
I want to be a straight man. It's hard. It's hard to be a straight man in this world.
You'd be like
spirituality.
You'd get
in general.
Billy-ified.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Billy.
I'm still sad. I know.
Yeah.
I know, and all those spiritual people, they take themselves so seriously, which is so funny to me.
But they take themselves as seriously as other people take them. Do you know what I mean? Other people take them also that seriously.
Why?
You don't.
How?
Other people do.
How?
People take Matt Kahn so fucking seriously.
Oh.
So seriously.
Well, he's adorable.
You clearly don't take him seriously. If you're he's so adorable. I just want to pat his bald head. He's just so adorable.
He's just, he's like a little, potato.
Yeah, I've no qualms with Matt Kahn.
I liked actually going to his in-person live channeling because in Seattle, because we were pulling the same feeds, and that was so cool.
That was cool.
And super validating. I liked that. That was super cool. Yeah.
It's also funny interacting with him not on stage, like going up and talking to him afterwards, because he's
very short.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. And it made me feel so tall, like a strong, masculine, not gay man. That's awesome.
What else? Tell us more.
I don't know. There were lots of little things. Like he would say things like, "So what did I say?"
Oh, yeah.
Was it good?
Was it good? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and I told him he does this thing where like he tells a joke and he starts laughing and everybody laughs and everybody's eyes closed and they kind of go ha, ha. And then in that moment I was staring at him and he goes like he like gets really there's like an intensity that like clicks in while everyone was laughing. And I was like, "Do you know how you do that?" He's like, "Huh, I don't know." It's just funny. There's like little things that it's the channeling thing. So yeah, I have no qualms with Matt Kahn, but I think people take him very seriously, and he fits in spirituality very well. We don't fit in spirituality very well.
Right.
We're as crude as like Jeff FM.
Love Jeff
and like
FM.
Tana. Mojo. Monjo.
I know. I love Tana.
But we're teaching about like deep, deep, deep emotions that people have trouble feeling.
Yeah.
That like the moment you go there, it's like, oh, ooh, too much. Ooh, ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I can be
Mhm.
with that.
Yeah.
But if you don't feel those things, your fucking life's going to suck forever. And you're going to be enslaved, and you're going to be literally a slave to your own biology, which would be a slave to darkness.
Yeah. I think that's an important one to unpack, no matter where people are on the path,
Yeah. Yeah.
is body versus soul. I feel like that's a huge one because our biology is so hijacked.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't even realize it. Ben,
Yeah.
I was dying laughing again today. We were just driving and I just blurted out. I was like, I can't believe Ben and the Tide Pods. And then just lost it all over again. So thank you for that. But like, it's an inside joke. Ben will tell it someday on stage. Can't wait. I can't wait. But yeah, I was just thinking like, just living here, being in these bodies, because like there's this whole teaching about how you have to listen to your body compass.
Yeah.
So like
Very
even
common.
that is like we like butt heads with that. Like
Yeah.
it's so much butting heads with everything that's out there. But what I think it's really important to make that distinction between like what's body, what's biological, what's being hijacked by darkness, and what's God. Because that God whisper, that intuitive knowing, it is so faint. It's like barely even audible or like legible or however you receive information. Like it's, oh gosh, it's like nearly there, barely.
Mm-hmm.
And people will override it over like
Constantly. And it's so
forever.
fast that you often don't completely process the message you receive. Like I think at the beginning of the journey, when those messages come in, immediately the knee-jerk reaction is like to go do something about it, or to go do the opposite thing, or to freak out about it. Like I think you'll get messages like, oh yeah, there's nothing to do about your finances. And then it freaks you out so much that you go and panic and do a bunch of shit with your finances.
Yep.
Or like, oh yeah, it's time to move. And then you panic and you like, I don't know.
Scroll on Zillow
Yeah.
endlessly.
Yeah. For like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And that's not, like, that wasn't it, you know?
Right. Been there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. That's one of the main things we talk about is differentiation. Differentiating out the voice of God within your consciousness from everything else. And until you can do that, intuition's completely worthless.
Right.
This whole paradigm's completely worthless.
It's not going to help. And you can't
not
live in
gonna help.
between.
Yeah, it's far worse. And sadly, most spiritual people are there. Most spiritual
In
people
between.
are on, that
Oh,
third
100%.
path. They're not doing
Yes.
the like full on society consensus thing. They're also not doing full on God, intuition, light. They're like dabbling, and when you dabble, you fuck up the first one. Like you fuck up your role in the consensus, but you aren't fully held and taken care of by divinity. So you're kind of like just trying to click back and forth.
Teeter. Yeah.
Teetering back and forth, and you get the worst of both worlds.
I feel like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's why we can't figure out our show.
Oh yeah.
Do we go broad? Or do we go right into Lily's existential crisis with Tim?
Yeah. I'm so into all the YouTubers that I can't hear the name Lily without thinking of Lily Pichu.
Oh, yeah.
I just watched a Lily Pichu video today too.
Oh, funny. Yeah.
No, he won't. Oh, Ben won't tell the story. That's what he's saying.
Oh.
Yeah, I was right when I said no, he won't.
Bullshit.
Oh, you'll definitely tell that story.
100%. And you need to carry the same amount of shame. That's what I told David in the car. I was like, he's going to retell that story, but he has to embody the same amount of shame that he told it.
You giving no context, it makes this sound terrible. Like people's imaginations are going everywhere.
It's perfect.
You need to embody the full amount of shame when you tell the Tide Pod story. Now you better tell it, Ben. Just to make it less embarrassing. Now you have to tell it.
Yeah.
That's why you got that Osmo Pocket. You got to tell that story on stage.
Yes. I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. At the
You'll be able to click back into it. The shame part. So much time will pass that it won't even matter. But then it'll be so good. I love it. It still gives me the giggles. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. So yeah, body versus soul is interesting. It is interesting, that differentiation, that thread.
I think that's an important one
I think
because
it's important too.
it keeps coming up because I'm trying to sort that for people when I write my really long too small posts on Instagram that only stay up for 24 hours. So you got to see them. Otherwise they're gone. You miss them. But like, I'm trying to say that in there, like your biology is being hijacked. Like if you're driven to buy like red light therapy or like whatever the fuck is the latest thing, I feel like that's all I'm seeing is red light does this, red light. And then I looked, I was like, how much are these things? And they're like, I don't know, they're expensive. They're like $500 or you can just get a red light bulb from Amazon for like however much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally, let me show you what I have. Does it have like low EMF? No, it's probably blasting my head to bits. But whatever. All it could say, like,
Low EMF.
Yeah, I know. So that's the other thing. It's like, well, you get the red light, but you got to get this brand because it emits it doesn't emit as much high EMFs.
Oh.
It's not as bad for you.
I don't know that that's even true.
They say that with infrared saunas too. They have like low
Funny.
EMF.
But I mean, the electricity is running through the bulb.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like you can like change out the electricity.
I have no idea
I don't know what they do.
how their bulbs are.
Yeah, I wouldn't think there's much EMF radiation on the bulb at all, other than the electricity. That's weird.
Yeah, I have no clue. I genuinely don't know. But they've been tested and blah, blah, blah. Third party tested.
And that's why it's $400.
Yeah. But I'm like, well, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago when we first moved here. I just got my own red light bulb. I was like, there's got to be a way to do this. This is ridiculous.
And that's a clamp for a reptile.
Yeah, it is. It is a clamp for a reptile. And I just clamp it right here on top of the chair and then sit under it. But how often? Fucking never.
You did it once.
Yeah, exactly. Once. And I've done it more than once. But it's like,
Twice.
Exactly. Be more accurate, please. But like, it's just like, it just feels like everything's a sham.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, that's like, it's funny because as a Jehovah's Witness, you call the religion the truth, but then there's this thing about it being the good news. You know, like
that's what we
the
have.
Good news. Yeah. And it's weird because the good news that Jehovah's Witnesses are there to bring you when you go to the door is like, the world is dark and terrible, but there's hope. And one day God's going to destroy everyone, including you, unless you become a Jehovah's Witness. It's bad news. It's very bad news. But it feels like we also have similar good news, which is like the world's way fucking worse than you think it is. Way darker. You're right. Right? It's like, you're right. And that's the kind of good news part. But the bad news is like, you can't do anything about it. There's nothing you can do about it. And nothing's going to make you feel better.
Yeah.
And until you can accept that, you are going to be manipulated for the rest of your life.
I know, by affiliate link truthers online.
Yeah.
And that's like baseline. That's
branch.
like one tier, one layer.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that's the thing that's so sad about the truthers, right? And we get on this thread every so often, but it's sad because they're the people who are supposed to be seeing the truth, right? They call themselves truthers. They're the patriots. They're the ones that like...
That's what I'm saying.
They're obsessed with doing their own research and finding the deeper layers of truth about things, but they end up just as duped because they're scared.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Is like when you're scared, your biology is retarded no matter what. And it doesn't matter how many beans you have. You're going to be stupid and retarded when you're scared no matter what.
And
And they're gonna make dumb mistakes.
the obsession with money, that's the one that always, I mean, we could talk about that for days.
Yeah.
But like, there is no actual, like, they believe that their safety and security is insured by money. How do they get that money? Through selling you products. And then how do they sell you products? They educate you and make you afraid of something that you weren't even afraid of or worried about when you woke up in the morning. And then you get on social media and you're like, oh yeah, I'm really concerned about my iodine levels. It's like, since when?
Yep.
I saw this thing on Instagram about how I should paint my balls, and if it goes away really fast, then that means I'm ironed.
Paint my balls? People do their balls?
Oh yeah.
Just give it a try. Huh?
See?
Ball paintings. Did you say paint my balls?
I'm in.
Oh my God, I love that. Sorry, my spiritual self's coming out.
So that.
Fuck.
Oh my God. We do need to get you a wig.
Yeah, I guess so. We have plenty.
We do.
We have more than 5 wigs, which is a crazy amount for 2 spiritual teachers who don't do Halloween. They're not Halloween wigs. They're just fucking recreational wigs.
For fun wigs.
Fun wig.
Oh, that's good. So yes. So the money piece, right? The safety and security. It's not, there's not this like real deep knowing. I don't see this actually in anyone, unfortunately. Like, there's not the deep understanding that you're good. And like, you're supported, you're taken care of. It's not about dollar signs. It's not about numbers on a screen. It's not about fat stacks or small stacks. It's not about any sort of stack. Like it's beyond money. But there's no real deep knowing of that in these people, because if there was, they wouldn't have all these links of all these things to sell you all this shit.
Yeah.
And be constantly talking about it. Like, there's an ulterior motive. Like, yeah, they may also enjoy the product, but would they be sharing this product that they so much enjoy if they didn't have a link? Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
So like, what is that? And like, that's all biology. And then it's taking a current event and then being like, oh, okay, so now I guarantee all these people are going to come out with their air purifier links, and it's going to be all about purifying the Texas air. And it's just like, fuck. It's like obvious. Like, it's so, it's what you do here. And like, it's accepted. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody's mad about it. Everyone's like, oh my God, that's so helpful. I'm so glad they have all these. Like, no one has my perspective, I don't think, or maybe people do, but it seems like it's more accepted to just manipulate people through marketing, and like, it's good business. Like, and I don't like that. And I don't want to be that way. I want to only share stuff when it's genuinely here. And do I have links? Of course. But like, does it mean it? Like, you know I have them. And if you don't know I have them, maybe you'll find them. Maybe you won't. I don't fucking know. Like, it's like, this shit isn't up to me. Like, I'm going to share things when I feel called to share them.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to like, it gets so manipulative so fast. And it's so self-serving. And it defeats the whole point of being connected to God and knowing that you're good and guided and you can trust that guidance. Yeah, the money one just really gets me, because there's no genuine true peace in these people's lives. It's constant panic, and they're portraying an image. They're portraying an image of being the expert. You had to like drill that into my head.
That their external identity wasn't who they actually were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had experienced that when I went to Encinitas and met some of the people that I followed. This is in 2015. When I met them in person, oh my God, completely different fucking people.
Not impressive.
No. Rude. Like,
Often.
not fucking cool. Like, just like couldn't be bothered with you. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, they're like the bougie bitch.
Terrible. Terrible. Not all of them, but.
A staggering amount.
Okay, fair. But I did have like actual real friends. But yeah,
Of course.
it was eye-opening. I was like, wait, you're not the same.
Yeah.
Because there's this like power dynamic, the authority figure, like there's all this like it's so muddled. Like, Sarah Gruber loves my feel good. You could probably do a better one, a feel good impression. Your
Mm-hmm.
like gay best friend where you get really close to the camera and like point your finger and you're like, bitch, like you are so spiritual. But like if you feel like everyone's watching you, it's because they are. From a past life, you were famous. It's like, wait, what? No, you feel like everyone's watching you because there's fucking mass surveillance everywhere. That's why you feel like you're being watched. It's not because you're famous in a past life or you're going to be famous in this future one.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. That's what you're telling people.
Yeah.
Everything's just so warped. And like ugh. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's discouraging for sure.
I know. So where do we fit in that? I think we're doing it. I think this is it.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's
It always is.
happening right now.
Yeah. I know it's funny, our core themes, like when I really sit and I look at what the second paradigm is, how much of it is on like acknowledging that darkness is real, differentiating out intuition from all the other nonsense.
Yep.
And like being able to deal with hard emotions.
Yeah. That's it in a nutshell.
Because it's not a natural thing to do to ignore your biological signals.
No, but we have to here.
We have to.
I know.
And that's the opposite of personal development.
Right. Right. Body compass.
Yep. Yep. Body compass is Martha Beck.
Your true north.
Which is funny because she's kind of like a bridge between spirituality and the personal development world. Like she's on the woo side of personal development.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's body compass.
I know. That's when I found her.
Yeah.
I got into spirituality first and then personal development like later. I was kind of flipped. Yeah. The seriousness of it all. Like it's like people are taking the wrong things, in my never so humble opinion, are taking the wrong things seriously.
Yeah.
Like taking astrology seriously and human design seriously. And it's like, okay, yeah, but what's actually going on in your real fucking life that has nothing to do with any goddamn stars?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's really here for you? And it's like, well, it's like, okay, that's what I want to talk about.
Yep.
Like I want to be with that real fucking shit. That probably isn't real, but let's at least talk about it and pretend like it's real for however long we need to until you see that you're just spouting bullshit out your mouth.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's the shit I like.
Yeah, and there's nuance in that too. That like I understand it more every time we talk about it. But like being able to dive to the depths, right? Because it's so fucking confusing. The personal development way is like you got to feel your feelings and be a strong man, but then you also have to like not. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, do the work and it's just
Oh, you have to flip it. Oh,
there's so many
work.
fucking maps of what you're supposed to do with your emotions that it gets so jumbled.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's so jumbled, I don't know that I've completely articulated the way that we deal with our emotions. You know what I mean? Because it's not we don't ignore them.
No.
We also don't like sit in them forever.
We don't really take them seriously.
We don't take them seriously, but we go fully into them. Like it's so we hold them so in such a weird way that I don't completely know how to describe. Like we let it overtake us entirely, but it translates 0% to our decisions, right? And like that's and it's because of that we don't take it seriously, right? Like we don't take it seriously enough to do anything about it, but we have to take it seriously enough to feel.
Yep, to see what's underneath
it. Yep. And when we're feeling some intense emotion, there's always this sense of like, oh yeah, this is good for me. Mm-hmm. And that drives.
Well, that's you.
Yeah, but you do it too. I say it verbally. That's like my go-to.
This is good for me.
You're like, oh, sorry, having a bad day. I'm like, that's all right. This is good for me. This is good for me. I know this is good for me.
But it's
Great
not
for me.
it's not the like brainwashing.
No, but I actually
it's a
fucking
true
mean it.
understanding.
It's a true understanding
Yeah.
that if I don't go deeper into that, I'm not going to become more of myself as a soul, because I need to be able to feel that and not do anything about it.
Right.
Like that's the skill set I'm building.
Yep.
And often there's wisdom in the hardest emotions we have to feel anyway.
Totally.
Like there's something in there that I think we could also unpack that's interesting, and I don't
That's
know what
cool.
the word for it is yet, but I tried to write an article about it. It's mediocre. It's called
We've-
why hardship is hard to come by, or something. Hardship's hard to come by, but I call it purposeful hardship. That's okay. That's okay. But it's close. It's close to that idea.
This is a total side note, but I was going to say we were going to start another one of our ideas when we were probably wearing wigs. No, we weren't wearing wigs. We were going to start not mediocre media, mediocre productions. And then produce like music and like shitty skits.
We're gonna call it mediocre productions because it's a missed alliteration.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
Like because mediocre media is too good.
It's too good. Yeah. So mediocre
that's funny.
productions.
Yeah, I tried to do like mediocre music, like tried to make mediocre music, and it was so hard for me. It was so difficult. Because it's hard to take something, you have to like actually not care.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's
is so good for you.
fucking hard. It's so hard to not care, but to put so much work into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like such a fucking fine balance. And usually the only time I can do it is when I'm making a song that's absurd. Like one of my favorite childhood songs is called Lizard Man. I played it for you before, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's one of my favorite ones, and it's like I'm on the electric guitar, and it's like ding, 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 and it's about a guy who lost his legs, but it's okay because they're gonna grow back.
Yeah, you did play that for me.
Yesterday I lost my legs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know. Yeah, because we kept singing all these songs in the car,
Yep.
so we were like, we need to put these somewhere,
Yeah.
but they're just like mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and we were gonna do like skits and stuff. Just
Yeah,
everything, have
mediocre
everything
music.
be just mediocre.
Yeah, just have everything be mediocre.
Keep your expectations low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think your article was mediocre on hardship, though. I think it's just hard to put into words.
Agreed.
It's hard to
Very agreed.
like really explain what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
but also not. Like when you're in there one-on-one individual with people, it's pretty easy to see what God is doing in their life.
100%.
But it's hard to explain that.
As a concept
Right.
that then translates to people's lives.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Much more difficult.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to do it.
Eventually. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll come through.
Yeah, but again, you always say you when this happens, right?
What do you
We'll-
mean?
We'll be able to do it, right? You and I will
Well,
both
you're
be able
going
to
to
do it.
probably fucking write it.
Oh, I'm going to write it.
What do you want me to be the left A? What are the letters?
ASDF.
ASDF. What? You are going to.
Yeah.
I'll keep talking about it,
You're
I'm
the
sure.
QWERTY to my U up, honey.
The what?
The QWERTY to the U up.
Oh,
That's the top line
The
of the...
t- the spells typewriter.
Wait, what?
The top line across the key. That's where you can spell typewriter.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
That's like,
Interesting.
yeah, that's a fun factoid.
That's cool.
Just like Rudolf Steiner sucks. It's another fun factoid.
Well, the second line, you can spell dad. Gas. Fad.
Fag.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can you say that word?
No.
Oh.
I mean, yes, my vocal cords are capable of saying that word.
Oh, that's like a bad word too, huh?
Yes. Yes, that is a bad word.
It's like, who says this shit? Who makes this shit up?
I
I'm
know.
offended. And now we're all offended, and you cannot say that word because it is offensive. It's like, what if you just weren't offended?
Yeah.
Then it would be fine.
Yeah, I don't understand that thing that people do, because as soon as you choose the new word, immediately it starts degrading. Like the word itself starts, the people want to get away from the connotations of words, so they start using different words. That's the feeling. And I understand, because I didn't want to be a spiritual teacher for the longest time.
Okay.
right? So like, because I don't like the connotation of what that means. Because when people think of
Oh,
spiritual
that's
teacher,
how I felt about
they
coach.
think of
Like,
same, or like mentor, right? So like,
I
oh well,
like
let's
mentor.
use
Mentor
right.
I
So
can
let's
be
use
with.
mentor and not coach.
Mm-hmm.
But like the minute you start using it, a population starts using it. The word starts degrading the same. It gets the same connotation because people just don't like the thing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. They don't
Like
like
it's
the.
they don't like the thing that it describes, or like they like, yeah, yeah.
People just don't like gay people.
I know. That wasn't the point. That wasn't the point.
Spiraled so.
But it was that with the coach. It was that with the coaches. But no, with the gays, I think it's the same. I do think it's the same. Because the thing that does it with that made me think of it was the word midget. Midget's a bad word now, right?
Yeah,
It's like
right.
a little person.
Little people. Yeah.
But then before that, it was like if
Dwarf?
you were dwarf, I think is always not good. I think that's like a
Shoot,
mystical
really?
short creature, like a short mystical
Oh.
man, right?
Dwarf.
A dwarf, isn't that like a magical?
Oh, but don't they have dwarfism? Dwarfism.
Oh, maybe, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Well, keep going with your.
yeah. Well, but I think the connotation eventually just carries over, and then that word becomes offensive. Like soon, little people will be offensive. Like, well, why do we have to call it? Why aren't we just people? You know, or like, well, we should call it. But it's like, the insecurity carries over. The way that people interact with them carries over. Like, it's always going to be weird to see someone that's incredibly short. It's always going to be weird to see, like, soon it's going to be weird to see someone that's not gay. So it's not going to be weird anymore. But I think it's always going to be weird to see someone that's not like you. And at some point that connotation is going to carry over and it's going to feel the same.
Yeah.
Like, people just don't like being called the thing that they are, you know? I think the language doesn't matter.
Agreed.
It's my main point.
Agreed. I think it's silly that
Yeah.
it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, gosh, why does all these words hold so much weight?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There was like a movement like that with the feminists with the word slut. That was like
Trying to like reclaim it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was like big in my like 2015 era.
Yeah.
Remember all those books were coming out about like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like, ugh.
Excuse me, vagina's offensive. If you could please call it a cum bucket, I would much prefer.
Oh my god. Tranny Bill over here. Tranny Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy. I'm still sad.
It's just a mess.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we acknowledge where we are.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to because acknowledging where we are hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a long time in like a slew of ways. And you never think it's going to stop hurting the more you learn about this place.
Yeah.
And the lies that we've been told and how people are. Like, it's weird. It's weird to like exist here and not feel like I fit in. Like I can like I don't feel like I'm not from here, but I do sometimes feel like I'm not from here. Like, I know how to like be a human and like be nice and say hello and smile and ask questions, and like I know how to engage with other people, but like some of it just feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, oh, I'm just like posturing, but are they too? Like, did they know we're just doing this fake thing? Like, we're doing pleasantries? Like,
Mm-hmm.
can we say that, hey, we can skip the pleasantries? Like, can we acknowledge that this is not necessary? Like, can we get right to the heart of the matter? Or like, no, there is no heart in it doesn't go deeper than this. Like, oh, this is them. Like, this is the depth. Like, it's like, I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, this is a similar thread to Second Paradigm Lifestyle. I don't know that the doc ever fully hashed out the thought.
The compartmartmentalization.
But yeah, it's in the compartmentalization. Because it's when I think
I'm on
about
the cover
average,
of that one.
That's true. Yeah, in your silks.
I made in my silks. That sounds so
silks.
risky, risque.
It's in your silk underwear.
I'm nude on the cover.
Second Paradigm
Lifestyle. Just boobs.
Just the heavies.
Precisely. Okay. Continue.
Well, when I think about the average person and how they go about their life, it's heavily compartmentalized based on their emotions. So like there's their happy thoughts, and happy personality is what most of the world sees. So you're engaging your happy thoughts with other people's happy thoughts and that's like socializing, right? But then there's the depressed thoughts, and then there's the angry thoughts, and those most people don't see, but your family sees those thoughts, right?
Yep.
And like you only let certain people into the totality of your consciousness, which is like the totality of your thoughts. And most people actually spend most of their time either in the depressed or angry thoughts,
Right.
not actually in the happy thoughts.
Right.
But they have to turn it on of like, let me access this compartmentalized piece of my brain.
Yeah, when I
where
leave
I'm
the house,
happy
when
and
I get on the
everything's good.
phone, when I post
Yep.
on social media.
Because this is
Yep.
who I need to be for the world, because all these
Yep.
other emotions are unacceptable.
Yep.
But like it's more than just the emotions being unacceptable. Like it's all of the thoughts that come with them. And there's something about the spiritual journey that decompartmentalizes all of that in a way where I don't feel like I have angry thoughts anymore or sad thoughts. I just am a whole person, and I don't feel like I change based on the emotion that I'm feeling.
Right.
Like I
Yep.
feel like I'm pretty consistent
Yep.
regardless of what my emotions are doing. And I might think certain thoughts more when I'm sad, whatever, sure. Like but like I can kind of explore that pocket of my consciousness, and I can only access it when I like really go into the depths of the sadness. I can find certain pockets of things. But
Yep.
like it's really consistent all the way through. I just kind of become a person.
Yep. Yeah. I relate to that.
But like that's so, I don't know, it's not glamorous. Like there's not a
No.
great way to talk about it. It doesn't sound like something that's even a good spiritual goal. Like it's not like, oh my god, I would love to decompartmentalize all my thoughts and just be a person, not 12 people based on what I'm feeling or based on who's around. But like that's kind of it. Like you need to be able to have the capacity to feel the depths of all of your emotions and go there yourself, so you even know what those thoughts are, and you have to kind of reclaim them from that like depressed bucket or the angry bucket. Like, oh, that's too far. Like that's not me. Like we compartmentalize all
I
these pieces
know.
out, right? And like people don't even know who the fuck they are anymore.
Yep.
They don't even know what they feel about things.
Yep.
Like it's
Yep.
weird how much of this process is like just going into the shit and figuring out what your body even is, like what you actually even think and feel, or where the current state of your evolution is, regardless of what's good or bad.
Right.
And that's a hard fucking thing to do, because you
Right.
find all sorts of shit that's bad collectively.
Yep. I know. I remember working several of my jobs, and they were always, management would always say, well, you got to leave it at the door. Like whatever was going on
Yep.
in your life. And
Yep.
I just hated that. I was like, you can't. That doesn't make sense. Like, how could you? Like, if somebody just died and then they come into
Yeah.
work, like they're obviously going to be sad and a little bit slower and not sweep the floors as fast. Like, can that be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just jog that memory. Yeah, we need to be able to be whole people.
Yeah, and the fact that that doesn't mean anything, like that phrase doesn't, like you can't just say that to someone on the street and translate this feeling, because this isn't something that's talked about. It's not like a common thought. It's not something that people are aware of. How fractured the average person is. And when I think about this from a darkness perspective, like that fracturing is very
Genius.
important to them. It's very purposeful.
Yep. I know. Darkness has really outdone themselves.
Yeah.
I got to admit it.
Yeah.
Not
This place is wild.
Not the popular stance of spiritual people to have. I mean, that's not the good stance. But it's the true stance. The more I see, I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, they did that too. Oh, shit. They really planned for this thing. Like, there's a...
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
thing to push everybody into,
Yeah.
and the people will do it thinking it's of their own accord.
Uh-huh.
And I felt that when we voted for Trump, when we
Mm-hmm.
went down that rabbit hole of truth or
Mm-hmm.
patriot. I mean, QAnon was fucking weird. That DOS fucking, I just can't. I can't with the DOS. I don't know. The like font and the old school, like
Mm.
I don't know. I can't. That, ugh. But it's like all very, like, in people, because we just, drove a couple towns over or whatever, and there were people standing out, like, with Trump signs, like, wanting people to vote for Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, they don't know. Like, it's like a few years ago, I would have thought I would have more in common with those people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I go down this path, it's like, no, no, no. Trump was just a pit stop for you to like continue to see clearly. Like, you're not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to stay there. Like, how are people staying in these places? Like, how are they not guided out of them? Like, why can't you be guided in just as quickly as you're guided out?
Mm-hmm.
But people, like, they crave community, they crave a sense of belonging, and darkness knows that. So, like, let's put all of these pockets of the collective in place that people can sink into and completely lose themselves and just be in an echo chamber. Spars, just fucking read the Spars documents, all about echo chambers. It's crazy. And that's exactly what we're existing within. But it's
Yeah.
like purposeful by darkness.
Yeah. And it's long before social media. It's not about the algorithm.
Oh, no, definitely not. It's really fascinating
Mm-hmm.
because, like, when you pull back from all of it and you're like, okay, what if this is all made up? Like, what if Trump isn't good? And you start asking those questions, it's like, fuck. Like, I really thought this was going to be a good thing, and da 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 da. Or, like, okay, like asking about the vaccines or whatever. You just start asking more questions, and then you get hard hitting answers back from God that you don't want to be with. So it's just easier to be like, no, 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 no. Oh, yeah, I love Trump. Trump 2024. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wait, what? Because it's hard to be with the actual truth of this place.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm being with it because I don't even know what the full truth is. I mean, how are we going to know? I don't know. When do we find out? Probably at the end.
But there's a journey, and you can either be on it or not on it.
Right. And you can see where people stop.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird that people, like, I physically see them stuck in time. It is the strangest thing.
Very much so.
And most people, I would say, are stuck in 2015. Like, most people that I know from my previous iterations of life they're still that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so different.
Mm-hmm. Not even close.
Yeah, it's wild. But it's weird because I feel so backed by God, and I feel like I'm being guided this whole way, and I don't feel like any of it's wrong or off base. Like, just as crazy as I was about Trump and thought he was the coolest and the funniest, like, I feel like I'm like, okay, whatever. That was just whatever. It was what it was. It was a learning experience. I went in and it popped out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I think people, they get triggered by the changes that we're experiencing in our life, and they just can't even be with any sort of anything.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that was quite literally the whole point of that entire chapter of our life. Like, when I look back on that chapter of our life, I don't really think of Trump. I think of burning all of the bridges all at once.
Yeah. Well, me talking about Trump was, I thought, part of that.
I know. I agree. But it's just a part of it. Like, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, I get that people didn't like who we were becoming, but that was kind of the point. Like,
Right.
that was one of the first times that I felt like my world cleaned up.
Yeah.
And it's all the people that,
I
like,
agree.
they were just right on the fringes of my life, and it tugged me in a direction of, like, this character that I wasn't, and they had so many fucking expectations of who I should be and how I should present myself, and like, there was always a right answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Like, everyone who required some sort of right answer from me was gone. very quickly.
Yeah, which is weird because like it was confusing while I was in it. It's not confusing now, and wasn't confusing shortly after everything went down.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was confusing while it was happening because it's like, wait, but I'm checking in and like I'm getting this. Like
Mm-hmm.
aren't you spiritual? Like don't you check in? Like aren't like
Yes.
how do you not see what I see? Like aren't we're not
That
all
was weird.
seeing the same thing? Like it was so strange to like yeah, that was really disorienting to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It like didn't track.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, I guess that was also the chapter where we realized that the spiritual people around us weren't talking to the same intelligence that we were talking to.
Yeah.
That not everyone, when we said intuition, not everybody was checking in with the same thing.
Right. Right. They were checking with the collective field of what to
Yeah.
do. Like, okay, it's time to buy masks or
Yeah.
it's time to post my black square or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It was all, and it was like, wait, what? Like, there is no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't check in and God was like, Miriam, time to post the black square today.
Yeah.
It was like, wait, that should have come through my channel. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
it was that, then I would have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, we realized how radical we were.
And I think it's only going to get more like that. Like, I feel another, like, thing on the horizon, and maybe that's obvious because people are talking about like the eclipse and the X and whatever, blah 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 blah, all the things. But anyway, I just feel like another iteration of that, like probably several more, where things are going to get hard again for those of us that are following our intuitive knowing, and like versus logic versus what you're supposed to do versus CDC guidelines versus like rules and
Sure.
regulations. And then it's like, yeah, but like I'm not sick. Or like, yeah, but we're fine. No, the trees aren't dying. Like everything looks healthy. Like I would never even know this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it weren't for the shiny rectangles, like that's weird. Like people
Mm-hmm.
aren't dropping dead in the streets. Like it's just
Yeah.
we're going to go through several versions of that. I foresee that in the future. And intuition, and people are going to get tired and beat down, and they're
Mm-hmm.
going to just side with AI. They're going to be like, okay, whatever. Okay, fine. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
give up.
Yeah.
They're not going to continue on trusting their intuitive knowing, being even more of an outcast.
Yeah.
The population that we're speaking to is getting smaller by the day. We can say all we want that oh my God, people are starting to wake up. No, they're fucking not. They're at least a decade behind where we are. At least, bare minimum,
Mm-hmm.
10 fucking years.
Mm-hmm.
At
Mm-hmm.
least.
Yeah, the average person who is here with a mission to, like, the cutting edge. I'm trying to find a way to describe them that's not the cutting edge. But the average person that is intuitive currently is slightly dissatisfied with their life and trying to maneuver their way out. I think that's the average spiritual person.
Yeah, 100%. And they're trying to like, yeah, like it's like pull a lever. That's what I see, at least
Yes.
visually. It's like,
Yes.
okay, if I do this, like less of this, more of this, then like, and like reading personal development, reading self-help,
Yep.
following people that,
And nothing helps.
no.
Nothing helps at all. And there's like a call to adventure too that I am noticing. That's interesting.
Yeah.
A call to adventure. Like maybe life would be better if I just broke free from all of it. And it reminds me very much so of what happened to me in like between 2011 and 2014.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a few years.
Yeah. Same.
Starts with crisis and then drives into change and adventure and
Mhm.
possibility and openness and
Mm-hmm.
and there's that whole pocket, it's that entrepreneurial personal development. There's a whole pocket that you end up finding yourself in, and I think lots of these people will end up there.
I really think though it's going to get harder to trust that knowing. Like it's going to be,
Of course.
yeah. Like it feels pretty easy now. It's hard now. But
Mhm.
like in comparison to that future timeline that I feel
Agreed.
is on the horizon,
Agreed.
it'll be harder and it'll be like so repulsive, like
Yeah.
so scoffed at, like more. That's what I feel.
Yeah, like I think if there wasn't a wave of people who did this very early, who were able to trust their intuitions and sort this thing out, and like who are willing to back God and their knowing of God over anything that happens here, if there wasn't kind of a core group of people who are willing to stand up actually, and not stand up in the pre-existing movement that's just the fucking alternative to,
Exactly.
not that, but like actually just trust themselves above everything. Like, okay, yeah, I'll die. That's fine. Fucking kill me then. Like that,
Yep.
that degree of, okay, I'm just going to do what I'm getting and nothing else. I don't even know if that completely exists yet, honestly. But I think there's people that are
sweet baby
pretty damn.
Jay,
I think there are people that are pretty damn close.
right? That was Jesus's vibe.
Mm-hmm. But I think if we didn't do this, we call them the cutting edge, but the like those that were called and who answered. If that didn't happen, I could certainly see there'd be never intuition here ever again. Because I think you're right. I do think it's getting harder and harder. Like the way AI is going and the way that AI is being positioned as a god, positioned as knowing more than all of humanity is weird.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's how that technology really works in the first place. I don't think that's how intelligence even fucking works. Like it's weird the way they talk about AI and like get kind of giddy about being a part of creating the God that everyone will soon worship and be a part of constructing this technocracy that everyone will fall into place. Like there's like a giddy, sick, weird, twisted, like almost borderline, like sexual, like sadistic fucking, like weird vibe in there of these guys that are trying to create this.
We watched Andrew Schultz. Schultz. That's what I would call him. He had this the guy that's like never to age on, and
Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson. He's an ex-Mormon. He has ex-Mormon vibes.
Very
he
much
has
so.
Mormon vibes.
Very much so.
Like very weird. Like, ugh. I fell asleep, but you ended up watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's so the obsession and like the just like the reverential awe for AI is so disturbing.
Yes. And I think they're doing a good enough job at conveying that to people. And it's like that information's been out for a long time. I remember seeing like I think it was called the 2045 project. It was like coming out of Russia. This was when I was like a kid. I remember this was early. Must have been 2009, 2010. It was like the 2045 project. And I was like,
None of us
I
were
was like
kids
a fucking
in 2009.
futurist. Well,
Except for you.
it was before my mom died. That's why I say that as a kid, because I was 17 when my mom died. But I was probably like 16 or something. And there was this it was like Project 2045, and they were talking about creating artificial intelligence and then creating artificial intelligence that can live inside of some sort of like robotic structure, and then eventually having like a holographic body where it wouldn't actually need any sort of consciousness. And a piece of that was being able to take your own neural circuitry and put it into these things. So it was like a project to basically map the human consciousness, put it into robots, and then pull it into holograms. Like it was this whole thing out of Russia, this initiative, I think 2045 initiative or 2045 project. But like this stuff's been around for a really long time, and these narratives have been around for a very long time. Like this has always been the direction that things are kind of going. But now it's like culture, and it's cool, and it's like we're actually going in that direction. And I think you're right. It's only going to get harder to trust your intuition, because it's not going to be like, okay, do I trust what everyone else seems to, the vibe I'm getting from everyone else that I should be responsible, pay my bills, and get a job and give up on my intuition, or should I trust what I'm getting? Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be that. It's going to be like, well, the AI says that if I don't work these 3 jobs that are being presented to me, like I'm not going to have enough money to live, and then I have to go move out of this house and go fucking live in a shelter. Like,
FEMA.
It's going to be very certain.
Yes.
The world's getting more certain.
Exactly. And people are craving certainty because you just create all this instability, and living an intuitive life is super unstable. Or like unpredictable,
uncertain, complete uncertainty.
Yes. And so you have to rely on faith, blind faith.
Yes.
And that's fucking nuts, right?
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's the best,
Yeah.
but it is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So when you have extreme certainty, like this AI can get you these 3 jobs. Here's your 3
100%.
shifts.
Yep.
Here's
Based
this
on
money.
your personality, based
Yep.
on your aptitudes.
Mhm.
They're close to you. It's very convenient,
Mhm.
very easy. Are you willing to
Your
do
ride
this?
share will be here in
Yep.
5 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, we'll pick you up at 5.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really enticing, and that hooks into the biology. That's why my whole harp, for whatever reason, is money. I have been obsessed with that. Like, I want people to be free from the illusion of money and what you think it provides for you, because it provides you none of those things. We can say, well, that allows me to buy this, and it's like, we need to even go beyond that. Like, it's not about that. Maybe it's not here for you to have all those little fucking things.
Yep.
Like, can you be okay without all those little fucking things?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is yes, and you need to know that. It's so, that one, money is like, it's so easy to manipulate people with money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because
go.
frankly, there are people that I can think of, like quite a few, who I think were on this exact same trajectory with us at the exact same time, and we answered the call around the exact same time, followed their intuition, made big leaps, trusted themselves deeply, were following light, and then money was the thing that made them stop.
100%. Yeah.
I can think of multiple right off the top,
Yeah.
like fucking quick.
You want to name them?
No need. No need, because everyone
gossip.
knows like fucking 15.
My gossiper. I know. We'll save that for our members only stream.
Yeah. We got receipts in our community.
No. Yeah, I know. Yeah, because things get too hard.
Because things get too hard. And the lesson that they skip. Right?
This is great. Yep.
The lesson that they skip is extreme financial uncertainty, driving into recognizing that there's no bottom. Like, nothing bad happens.
Yes, exactly.
The things that you're afraid of, that you're trying to avoid by creating more financial abundance for yourself, by being more spiritual, like that track that you got on drove away from the circumstance divinity was trying to press you into, and you never actually learned the lesson, which is that you were held, taken care of, and that your financial circumstances are completely irrelevant to the actual reality you're living inside of.
Exactly. Your reality doesn't actually fucking change.
Yeah.
Yep. And it takes a lot for you to end up homeless on the street. But that's where we go. Biologically, that's why homeless people are there. They're there as a thing that you need to work your little tail off to avoid.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to end up like that, because that equals bad. And you are not bad. You are good. So you do good things. Like, it's very simple, very basic brainwashing.
100%.
And oh my God, I could talk about this for days. I feel like I want to take a fucking sledgehammer and bop every single person in this dome on the head.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, listen. Like, because then what's fucking crazy about it is, like, people being obsessed with money and thinking that it ensures their safety, but then simultaneously believing in God or trusting their gut or trusting their intuition. It's like, which is it? Which is it? And like, when God needs to provide to you, for you, he will. It will. The intelligence will.
And that's why they get stuck. And that's why their worldview never actually comes together. Like, they can never integrate. All of these spiritual types that I'm thinking of, they will never integrate into a solid spiritual worldview, because that money, personal development, power dynamics, that beingness is so counter to what spirituality actually is in light, that they're completely incompatible. So divinity is trying to crush you. And you won't go there. So you push off of divinity, and then you dabble in what spirituality you have left.
And then you have your latest ebook coming out.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God.
Yeah, about how to manifest abundance.
Here they
go
again.
Fucking,
like, okay. Missed the lesson.
And that's why it's all the same shit over and over and over again. It's the fucking secret said 1,000 different ways, and it's no fucking secret. Everybody knows it. It's just dog shit. It's not a secret. It's just garbage.
Yep. So maybe we're not spiritual teachers.
I think we are.
I know, it's more of a joke. I can see why we don't fit in.
Yeah. I can see why they might not like us.
Yeah. Ooh. I can see why we got asked to leave the party. We were never invited.
We were invited.
Always invited. But yeah, I can see why we left the party.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we left the party and then we said, hi, we're David and Miriam, and we are here to talk out about parties. We don't like parties, and we think that people who go to parties are dumb. It was basically our whole fucking, that was our transformational arc.
I know.
That was that whole chapter. We had to burn all the fucking bridges. But by burning all the bridges, we burnt the bridges with the bullshit, right? And then we were like, okay, we're just going to go divinity, completely divinity. And divinity was like, okay, just burn all that shit. Because it's all garbage. They're stuck. And if you bind yourself to them, you will be as stuck as they are.
I know. I'm so glad. I know. I couldn't have played pretend that I was into like black squares and BLM, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
It was really hard for me, but that ideology just feels like so not the direction I was being guided to go. And I trust my guidance over friendship. Like I trust my guidance over like loyalty,
100%.
over all the things that like are so like tribal and innate within us. Like I still will choose my intuitive knowing over all of that. It kind of makes for a lonely path, but I can feel that in my life, like the loneliness or the like small, like at least in like close friends. But I feel okay with that. Like it's like, yeah, but that's right. Like that feels more right to me than those other iterations of life where I was, all involved and had a zillion fucking friends and was like keeping tabs on everybody and coordinating and getting together and
and before the concept of spiritual community, that's how my life was anyway. That's where I was going. Like I was going to this fairly isolated, like I'm going to think deeply but mostly by myself kind of life. And there's room for people, but not much, because the things that I'm doing in my internal world are more important to me than what's happening in the external world often.
You're definitely, for sure.
So yeah, it's funny, but then right, I was like, oh, but adventure, and this is so exciting. And then we move to spiritual community, and it's a bunch of other people who are also the same, but they all get together, not because necessarily it's aligned, because I think they're all lonely. Like there is a kind of deep longing for that, to find the people that are just like you. And I don't know how, like here, truly, like from God, aligned, that kind of spiritual community is, or even can be.
No, not with those long fucking hugs.
Yeah.
That's so unnecessary. Don't hold me for that long. I'm meant to be alone. Just please don't hug me for this long.
Yeah.
There was only one person I liked the long hugs from, actually, but yeah, I know. It's that sense of belonging.
Yeah.
It's that community, like brotherhood, sisterhood, linen pants. Like it's wanting, we all want to be seen, like really, really seen. And like that like isn't gonna fucking happen.
No.
And like that's another hard-hitting truth. That's like another like mature adult perspective to have about this place is like, oh, okay, so chances are I'm not going to be fully seen as who I am with all of my gifts and all of my beauty. Like I'm not going to be seen by others for my fullness. Like, fuck. Like, really? I don't know. That was a hard one for me. But then it's like, of course I'm not. None of these fuckers are doing anything. They're all fucking stuck in 2015. I expect, or 2008, or wherever the fuck they are. Like, they are stuck as fuck. And I expect them to see me. Like, no. I need to just keep going and not fucking worry about it. Like, it eventually resolved, but man, that one was for years. I was holding on to that. I was like, why can't the what is he? We went camping in Texas, and I wanted the like gas station guy to like thank me for all my
Spiritual gifts.
yeah.
Yeah, all the work
I
you've
was
done.
losing it. I just wanted to be seen and recognized for how much shit I'd been through and how like bright I still was. Like I
I
wanted
see. Yeah.
someone to say like, "Oh my gosh, like you can," like I wanted someone to say like what I fucking say to people is like, "Oh, like yeah, you're fucking in there. Like you're refreshing to talk to." Like
Mm-hmm.
I like coming in here because like you actually engage and you're not zoned out and like you're a real
Mm-hmm.
person. Like I wanted some sort of acknowledgement like that. I was
Mm-hmm.
craving it for years, especially post 2020.
Yeah.
And then still have yet to get it. Maybe here and there, but it's never as satisfying as the like longing as what I feel like it'll satisfy this like deep God-shaped hole in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never been about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
And then spiritual people would tell you, "Well, that's your ego." And it's like, "Okay, so what? Good. Was that a
Yeah.
problem?" Yeah, it's my fucking ego. We got a problem with the ego now? Oh, well, we've always had a problem. We need to transcend the ego, and the ego's bad. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Fuck you. My ego says fuck you to you and your ego. Both.
Mm-hmm.
All your bits. There's all these made up rules.
Yeah. That's what most of it is. And those rules create certainty, and they're easy to create community around, and they're easy to create movements around. But yeah, it's cool to keep going. I mean, I obviously appreciate that we were able to keep going.
Oh, same. I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to try to describe it to other people, though, right? I mean, back I guess full circle to the first part of this live.
Which was what?
How to describe this to people.
Describe what? Why am I lost? I got lost.
That's okay.
I didn't make the full circle. I'm stuck. Help. Help. Describe what this feeling?
I don't know. I lost it too.
Okay.
gone.
Shoot.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hmm.
It just feels like life is better.
Yeah. Certainly.
The more like reckless I am, in quotes, reckless, the more like I say shit that's offensive. You know, like it's just like what does it even matter? You know?
Mm-hmm.
The more like liberated I feel in it. And then the less offended I feel by other people. Like when other people are wilding out and being all, it's like, oh, whatever. It's like funny. It like doesn't.
Yeah.
We're here for such a short amount of time in the grand scheme of things. It's like and we know we're gonna be all right, but people don't know they're gonna be all right. But I want people to know they're gonna be all right because then you can enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And when you know that you're always guided and you've always been guided and you've done your best to listen to your guidance, like that guidance is going to continue to carry you. Not
Yeah.
everyone has that. People don't have this connection that you have. Like they fucking don't. Look at them. If they did, they'd be acting a whole hell of a lot different. They'd be living an entirely different life if they had the access that you have. Like, so to know that you have this access, walk like it, act like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just be it.
Yeah. Back yourself. Because nobody's going to back you.
Fuck no. I mean, I will. I'll try.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have me in your
Mm-hmm.
pocket.
I know.
And you can't hologram me in yet. Hologram me in to your altercation.
Yeah, it's funny because when we talk about this, sometimes we'll talk about, you'll get on that thread of, I want people to see me or whatever, and the answer is always like, no, but we don't have that. Like, that's not a thing that we get. Like, we'll never have that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's the role we play for people often.
We see them.
Is we see them and we tell them
yeah.
exactly how we see them and what's here for them, and help them sort through.
Yep.
And so it's funny longing for the thing that we do.
Mm-hmm.
But when I really think about it, I don't think anyone we're talking to actually has it either. I don't think that we're enough.
No.
No,
agreed.
like us seeing them also isn't enough.
No, right. I know.
Like
I try my damnedest, especially when I'm working like one-on-one with people.
Of course.
Yeah. To like really get in there and like reaffirm all of the shit that like is true and real, and that not shit, but like the glowy shit that I see. And it's like a constant barrage of like, all right, this about you, and then there's this, and then there's this. And they forget, and it doesn't stick. It doesn't, because as you've said before, it's the God-shaped hole. It's not even about the compliments or the acknowledgments or the observations.
Yeah, when I think about us in relation to the world, I think the reality is something like darkness is so much more powerful than us as individuals. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's like scary. And I think that's the thing that's really hard to be with, is like AI in this world that's being built and architected. Like it is smarter than us. Like the idea that AI is so much smarter than us. Like there's an element of that dark thread where I think darkness is more powerful than us. They are more organized. They've been doing it for much longer.
For sure.
They have a deeper sense of what reality actually is. They're far less confused.
Every time.
Like they have a long tradition.
Yep.
And being with that, I think, is very uncomfortable. But it's only so uncomfortable when you also are actively trying your best to work for God.
Right.
Because the reality is God is significantly more powerful than all of this. And you can be navigated through all of this with an unbelievable amount of ease.
Yep.
But it just requires so much inner work to differentiate it all of your intuition from all of the other nonsense, be able to decompartmentalize all of it, become a person again.
Yep.
And trust yourself. And work for God, regardless of any amount of biological discomfort. And do it without being praised for it and while being the minority.
Yeah.
To do it in what feels like a vacuum. It's just you and God, and it's just your understanding of God. It's not what other people think is God.
Right.
So you don't even have that to relate on. But if you do it, you're okay. You're good. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. I have to pee.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff.
It like hurts.
We'll keep finding threads.
Yeah, that was great.
I think we want to do this more. We'll let you know next time we go live.
We'll let you know. We might want to do this more. I'll type on this side of the keyboard. It's an us thing. I know you're not going to. Well, you'll do videos anyway.
Yeah, eventually.
Tangent.
I know. We'll see.
Yeah, this is great. No, I love this. This was awesome. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll
see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. I got a jet.